Hey everyone, Casual Console Gamer here with another review on YouTube. I was taking a look at my local game store and I found the Talos Principle 2 was on sale for 70% off. This review is for the console version of the game. So I picked it up for about $15 US, but its regular price is $30 US. Is it worth playing whether you get it for the full price or on discount? This review is going to answer that question.
Before the founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the goal, capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem.
The Talos Principle 2 was released in November of 2023 and is a sequel to the original that released in 2014, or several years after depending on whether you played it on PC or console. I played the first game and thought it was pretty good. It had an interesting concept and some clever puzzles, although I did find it could be a bit quirky at times. The sequel, just like the original, is mostly focused on puzzles, but it does have a more direct storyline and quite a few walking simulator sections where you are exploring massive structures and a city while you talk to people. But before we get too far into the story and gameplay, we need to talk about the graphics and the technicals. For the technicals, the Talos Principle 2 ran really well on console. It didn't have any slowdowns or FPS drops, and the game comes with a quality and performance mode. I played it on quality mode since a high FPS isn't really critical for a puzzle game where you're just slowly walking around. But even the quality mode ran smoothly and I had no issues at all. There are a few quirks and odd bugs, but nothing game breaking. There were a few times when animals in the environment would run into the air, or an item would get stuck on a wall as I tried to place it, but nothing too major. The developers also did a very good job of closing out any loopholes or unattended ways of solving puzzles, something that was present in the first game. For the most part, I could only solve puzzles in the way they intended, although several times it felt like I was doing something that I really shouldn't have. But more of that in the gameplay section. For graphics, Talos Principle 2 looks really good. The environments are massive and well designed, and each map is very unique, meaning I was never lost and could always remember where things were in the map because they were so distinct from each other. The character models are pretty detailed and expressive for, besides the fact that they're robots. Overall, the graphics and art style combined into something really incredible, and I don't think anyone can complain about them even on the console.
Those who seek hope should ask themselves why it was imprisoned with the world's evils. Creature of clay, you stand before the fire. Will it make you whole, or will it destroy you?
Let's go a bit into the story. If you didn't play the first game, don't worry about it. There isn't anything you miss in the first game that prevents you from playing the sequel. At most, there are a few references that you can figure out through context anyway. Keeping things general and spoiler-free, the first game had you playing as a robot in a simulation, solving puzzles and figuring the mystery of who you are and what you're doing there. In the sequel, you play as a new robot who just left the simulation. See, in this world, humanity was wiped out by a virus that was released when Arctic ice melted due to climate change. As advanced as humanity was, they couldn't find a cure, and instead they created a program to develop sentient AI that would eventually leave this simulation and repopulate the Earth with humanity once more, albeit in a robot form. You play as 1K, the 1,000th robot to be created. This robot society had a goal of reaching 1,000 members, and with your birth, they finally accomplished that goal. It's a big celebration until they're interrupted by a figure in the sky who speaks some cryptic riddles and then leaves. So 1K and a few others set on an expedition to find out what's happening. That's where the story really begins. Unlike the first game, this one is set in the real world with puzzles happening in real life. As I said at the start, Talos Principle 2 is a walking simulator as well as a puzzle game because there is a mystery to be solved here. The plot can be a little bit slow at times, and there are conversations to be had with your companions and the people out in the world. Most of this is lore stuff if you want to skip it, but if you are the type of player who is more gameplay and less story and talking, there are some lulls here that you might not be happy with. Overall, the story works really well. It explores the meaning of life, the workings of the universe, and what it means to be human. It's about our place in the world and how do we balance advancement with stewardship of the Earth. It's equally depressing and hopeful. Just like real life, I suppose. Your choices and interactions with others also change the story. There are sides to choose here, whether you want to slow down advancement or plow ahead full steam. And if you choose to do all the puzzles and the extra harder hidden puzzles, you get a different ending. There are three main endings to get in the story, but don't worry much about your choices, since they are only short cinematics and you can find them on YouTube if you missed them. Overall, it should take you about 20 to 30 hours to get through the story, depending on how savvy you are with puzzles.
Remember to turn on streaming, everyone?
Have I ever mentioned that I hate flying? If our creators had intended us to fly, they'd have given us jetpacks.
And touchdown.
Okay, the gameplay. I won't talk about the long walking simulator sections, just know that you generally go through 3 puzzle maps before taking a long walking section. There are a lot of different maps to choose from, and you can mostly do them in order, although they are separated into chunks. There are 4 main chunks with 3 maps each. You travel between these sections in a car, tram sort of thing, selecting which one you want to tackle. So, 8 puzzles per map, 3 maps per chunk, 4 chunks in total. There's also a very convenient display in the level select that tells you how many of the puzzles you've solved and if you missed anything along the way. So don't stress about finding everything right away. There will be an opportunity later. Each of the maps have 8 puzzles, like I just said, that must be completed to finish a map and move to the next section. There are also 2 bonus puzzles per stage that are marked with a triangle and are necessary for the additional ending. I would very strongly recommend that you do these additional puzzles. At the end, there are another round of 12 even harder puzzles unlocked through golden doors, provided you did all those little extra puzzles along the way. Don't worry about missing this part. The game tells you in the objective section that you should do all the bonus puzzles you might have missed so you won't accidentally skip them. It comes right towards the end of the game. It's very clear. Don't worry about it. A lot of the puzzle mechanics make a return from the first game, so if you're an old hat at Talos Principle 1 puzzles, you'll have a leg up here. The sequel makes some additions and shakes things up a tiny bit, but it's overall similar to the first game. I did find that there was a steady progression in puzzle difficulty, but there were the odd times when a really hard puzzle would be thrown into a lower number section, putting a bump in the road, sort of speaking. If you're really good, you can solve each puzzle in about a minute or so, but you will often get stuck here. Most of the answers to the puzzles are very simple once you figure it out, but they just require you to think outside the box at times. There are no tutorials or hints in the game, so instead, they slowly introduce mechanics as you do puzzles. Each map will have like a different gimmick, and it's highly recommended that you do the puzzles as they are numbered, and the maps as they are numbered from 1 to 3 for each chunk. If you do get stuck, you're given items that can let you skip a puzzle, but they are very limited and hidden throughout the maps, so if you're halfway skilled with the puzzles, you shouldn't have any problems getting through the game, although I did find the bonus puzzles may be a challenge. If you do get stuck, all of the solutions are on YouTube if you don't mind cheating. To be honest, there were about 4 of the bonus puzzles that I had to look up, and then I would feel like a complete idiot when the answer was obvious after watching the videos. That's the thing about the Talos Principle 2. None of the puzzles are like insanely difficult. All the pieces are there, it's just about getting them to fit the right way. Often you don't recognize what you're supposed to do because the order may be different from normal, or you never thought to use an item in a particular or interesting way. Overall, the Talos Principle 2 is a fantastic puzzle game that doesn't hold your hand, but isn't unnecessarily difficult.
Hey dude. Lately, a lot of folks have been saying maybe that Byron dude is right after all. Like, maybe to really be excellent to each other, we have to build something new and bodacious.
Alright, let's go through the pros and cons of the Talos Principle 2. For the pros, the graphics are incredible at times, the environments are well made, and will make you want to stop and take it all in at times. The game ran really well on console. The story has really good lore and an engaging narrative that made me want to see how it ended. The puzzles are interesting with just the right level of difficulty. For the cons, I think some players may find it boring at times, especially during the long walking sections, or when characters are giving expository information. The levels are really huge and my character felt like I moved really slowly, even when holding the run button. It's a design choice so you can't cheat the puzzles, but it makes for long treks outside of those puzzles at times. The game is a bit long and can drag at times. They could have removed a few of the maps and had more puzzles in each one to streamline it. There are 4 main chunks with 3 maps each, and a huge gap of dialogue and story in between those chunks. They could have had just 3 chunks of 3 maps, and it probably would have flowed a little bit better. And that's it for another review. I want to thank everyone for watching, and if you're liking my content, maybe leave a like or comment on the video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in playing the Talos Principle 2, I would recommend picking it up. It goes on sale a lot, and even at full price, it's worth playing and owning. I'm the Casual Console Gamer, and I'll see you all in the next review.